Hi, Virgos. Sorry I'm a bit late, quite a bit late with your guys' May reading. But we are going to start off, as per usual, with career and money, and then we're going to move over to love and relationships, and then we're going to finish off with 2 cards from Stacey DeMarco's Halloween Oracle. Okay. Now, if you guys find this resonates, sorry, my cat's deciding to bump. If you guys do find this reading resonates for you, please click like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to book a reading with me or leave a donation, you can do so in the description box below. Okay, so Virgos, career and money. One more card. Okay. So Virgos, we have the King of Pentacles as well as the 9 of Wands reversed. So you could be dealing with actually, this would be your card as well as the Sagittarius. But it's showing here that you guys are on top of your game, Virgos, when it comes to your career and finances. You're really, really smart. A lot of you are already in really good positioning. Now, those of you looking for a career, this is a perfect time to do it. But make sure that you're not being used or walked over, because here again, we have your card with the 8 of Pentacles, and it's showing here that you're really getting noticed for the hard work that you're putting out there. So continue to do that work, because the work you're putting into either going for a career or making more money is definitely starting to show. And this here for your advice card could be dealing with a Capricorn, but it's showing here that you guys going within and really being focused on what's important to you guys. Now, first few weeks of May, Virgos, you're going to notice that any instability that you guys had, possibly the Capricorn, doesn't have to be, is finally coming clear for you guys. You're going to notice a big shift for those of you that have been having issues. And you guys here have the King of Cups for where you're at now. And it's showing that you guys are confident with where you're at in your emotional state. You know what's good for you. It's not the right moves you need to be making. So far, you guys are kind of on a powerhouse level. But remember, not everything is going to always go your guys' way. You do have the energy around you. Has been a lot of bad luck coming your way with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, where no matter what you do, things are going in the opposite direction for you. But don't fight it. Just let things flow, because the wheel eventually always turns in the other direction. Now, you guys are wanting to be on top of your game, staying focused, driven, sort of like you guys are. It's also the card of Aries, but you end up with the card of Libra, the 3 of Swords reversed. So the 3 of Swords, when it's upright, is showing sort of like a loss, heartache, that sort of thing, a stressful situation. But I feel like a lot of you aren't growing from a loss. So those of you trying to start to find new jobs, you might be having a hard time at first beginning this new venture, just because you're not moving past a prior situation. Now, others of you are going to eventually learn from that situation and grow with it, since you are such a driven sign, especially when it comes to your careers. So if there has been a loss in your life, whether it's been illness or even a death in the family or something that's caused you guys to kind of have to take a step back, or just stress levels in general, realize that it is going to start becoming clear, but it's going to take its time to move forward. So next, Virgos, we're going to do love and relationships. Now, love and relationships, as per usual, I say it can be career relationships, family, friendships, or romantic. So just take it where it resonates for you guys. Okay. So we have the Hanged Man reverse, but we also have the Ace of Cups, which is sort of like it's sort of a double-edged sword in a sense. You have a new emotional beginning, which is really cool. But the Hangman reversed is where you're making a sacrifice for something that really isn't going to serve you long term. Like, it's almost like you're taking a risk that's not really worth your while. So you may be noticing or questioning new relationships, or whether you should be going after the ones you're in. Now, a lot of you could be dealing with a Cancer. This is a sign here that's showing that with the Chariot, you need to make sure that you have your boundaries in place, that you're keeping that strength and motivation, because there is movement. There is a possible trip coming. But you want to make sure for a lot of you that this is what you want. Okay. Now, some of you could be dealing with the Sag, and it's showing here with the 9 of Wands that you guys just have to keep pushing when it comes to your relationships. You guys are really focused and driven. So for you to be putting this much effort towards your relationships when normally it goes towards your career otherwise, it's cool to see you guys really making that effort to set aside time for your loved ones. Just make sure that it's what you want. Now, you're going to notice a little bit of stagnation, some changes that need to be made that aren't being met in the first few weeks of May with the Death card reversed. So there's things that need to sort of transition and change, and you guys may feel yourselves fighting against that change, worried that maybe relationships will end or new ones won't begin the way you want. But right now you have the 10 of Pentacles reversed, which is showing you guys aren't really satisfied with where you're at now anyways. So if there's something that you feel needs to be changed in any of the relationships in your life, again, it doesn't have to be romantic. Just make sure that you're plugging along and really pushing for it, because for those of you that are willing to walk away with the Pisces card, you want to make sure that you're resolving any issues going forward. You guys have sort of a caregiving heart. A lot of you work in healthcare. So you want to make sure when you are such a loving and caring sign that you're leaving things on a good note. If it's a work relationship, it's a good thing to leave on a good note, because then you have a reference later. For love and relationships, realize that it's a lesson that's going to be learned, and you need to walk away as the better person in the end. But we do have the 9 of Pentacles for the end of May. So a lot of you are still fighting and for something that probably isn't really serving you in your relationship. So like your career, I say you guys need to either switch up your approach about how you're going about things and try a new approach to fixing the relationships you're in or getting communication through them, or walk away after you've resolved any issues as best as you can. Obviously, that's not always an option in relationships, but you definitely want to try, if you can, to leave things, where everything's out in the open and you've gotten your point across and you know that you're ready to go, but also, try to keep things as, I guess, even keel and agreeable as possible. Some of you may just find that your crushes or your potential partners just aren't worth the trouble. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with just switching up a different approach for those of you that aren't getting the results you want in relationships. Okay, Virgos, Halloween Oracle. We have the Graveyard. And here it's showing this is unnecessary fear. So you guys are putting a lot of stress on your shoulders towards things that need to be done, but you're keeping that stubborn streak and holding on to something that needs to be changed. And that's where the Death card is reversed, and you got this card here. So unnecessary fear is showing that you don't need to be scared. This is a natural transition that needs to take place. And holding on to something isn't going to serve you any better than if you make the wrong decision. So saying stagnant and still is still making a decision. Now, dawn, the light after the darkness. And this shows here with this card that you guys are, no matter what happens, things are always going to move you in the right path, in the right direction for you guys, Virgos. So no matter how much you worry that you might be making the wrong decision, know that you can't go wrong. You will be at least moving somewhere, which will be heading you to a place that will make you most happiest in the end. So Virgos, I hope you have a wonderful May, and I'll see you next month. Take care.